Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? Hold on. You open the door. Yeah, door chest. Yeah, I figured it out. Yeah, we're switching up the colors, man. We did. Yeah, cool. What's up, guys? How are we doing? Happy birthday. Another podcast episode. We got Tom Casey going on the list. Hey, what's up, Steve? Joanne Girl, Lacey, what's going on? Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. Hope you guys are having our live. So, press for time again. I want to make sure we get through this. So, without further ado, I'm going to hit this recording and I'm going to give you guys yet another live podcast episode. So, let's get into it. In 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Your Mind, Change Your Life podcast. This is your favorite online coach, Coach Sal. Let's get it. In today's episode, I'm breaking down how our clients see success in our program. Yesterday, Chelsea and I were having a conversation about sometimes, like maybe I shouldn't say hide, but maybe I'm not so open with how we do things and what that looks like. And I don't know, for some reason, it just hasn't crossed my mind when I'm creating content. So I'm going to be a little bit more conscious and aware of that going forward. So shout out to Chelsea for bringing that to my attention. I'm super pumped. But yeah, so in this episode, I wanted to break down a couple things as to how our clients see success. And maybe you could learn a few things that you could apply into your life that will help you create some more. I wanted to find a different word for success, but that's all that's popping into my mind at the moment. Create more results, let's say, right? And you guys know, if you've been on this podcast for a little bit, that it's not always just results in your fitness journey, but I like to talk about things that you could also apply to your life as well, and that's going to be the framework of this episode. Now, I would say I want to resonate with you guys a little bit, or I should say connect. For me, I personally would say right now I'm a really good client, but there was a time where I wasn't. And I wanted to start this episode off by sharing that, is because for, I think, a long time, I was maybe a shitty teammate on sports teams. When I look back, I like to try and reflect on where I'm at now and bridge the gap from where I was, and then talk about the lessons I learned through those experiences, because that's where I think the value is. And for me, being a former athlete, like, I could look back and say, I could have done this, I could have done this better. Maybe I should have responded here and this and that. And if you're an athlete, or maybe, you're into the business world, maybe that's something you could relate to in some fashion. But I share that because I think the way you actually step up as a leader, a teammate, a coach, a client, regardless of what position you're in right now in the season of life that you're currently experiencing, I think there's a few traits that we can boil these down that will allow you to actually get the most out of your experience. And that's what I want to share with you here in this episode. And this is something that I think we need to talk more about, and we need to shed some more light on that. And I think it's something that really sticks out to me as far as some of our best clients, because listen, some of these conversations are not easy. Like, I'll just be transparent and say that. And I think that's a lot of times why people don't see success in their fitness journey, or maybe their lives, is because it's not an easy thing to do, right? But that's the whole concept here. If it was easy, then everybody would do it. But it's not, so that's why we have to lean into that. And that's why for my clients, the top clients who I work with who see a lot of success, they embody these traits, and I'm going to cover exactly what that looks like in this episode. So if you take notes, now's your time to take notes. I'm going to cover a few things here that you guys could really go and work on, maybe reflect on, just chew on a little bit for the next few days here, and apply these to your life, okay? So how our clients see success. There's 3 main things that I thought about before getting on here that I wanted to share with you guys. And I think one of the biggest things, number 1, is removing emotions and ditching your ego from the conversation. I'll say that again. How our top clients see success, how you could apply these frameworks into your life to get more out of your life's experience. 3 things. First one, removing your emotions. And if you're here with me live, I would like you to put that in the comments as well. And I think this one is so critical to actually seeing substantial change in your life. Why? Because if we're emotionally reacting and responding from a place of our ego in every conversation that we come about, then it's going to be very difficult for us to actually come into things with a clear mind and see it for what it truly is, right? Like, I'm sure you guys could probably agree with me on that. When things happen and you respond immediately, sometimes you respond out of emotion. And sometimes it's not the reaction that you want to deliver, right? So what I'm saying is if we could just zoom out here for a second and recognize if we could remove our emotions from the conversation, leave our ego aside, right? And really approach things. I'm saying, you know what? Maybe I got to take a breath here. Maybe I got to recalculate a little bit. Maybe I need to try and look at this a bit differently. Just accept that maybe you don't know it all, right? That maybe your perspective, maybe your opinion isn't the be all end all. And for me, I just want to make the example of me and what I've experienced because I don't want you to think that I'm ever forcing an agenda on you guys in any way. I'm speaking from the heart and what I've seen work really well for myself because I'm actively working with a lot of mentors and coaches, and like if I could take these principles and then give it to you, I think that's extremely valuable. And this is one of the biggest things I see. Does that make sense? Are we getting value from this? Can you guys resonate with any of that? If you can, let me know. Listen, 100%. I love it. But let's write down the takeaways here. Alfred, what's going on? Don, thank you for tuning in. Active, what's good? I don't know. Asana Active. I hope I'm saying your name right, man. But this is what it is. And it's very powerful here. If I had $1 for every time I said powerful on this podcast, man, I'd be rich. I love it. Cool. Let's continue to break this down here. Make sure that I have my recording situation situated. Cool. Yes, because when I look back on the experiences that I've had in my life, every single time things don't really go the way that I want, more often than not, I respond from emotion. And that's why I'm saying, like, leaving your ego aside and really detaching from the emotions is going to help you come into things with a clear head. And that's the second piece to this is really being open-minded. And I'll say that again, these 3 traits are how some of our top clients see success. And you can take these and apply this to every single aspect of your life. And like I said, being open-minded, being open-minded is absolutely essential if you want to get the most out of your life experience. I really do believe that because, again, if we're going into things with a closed perspective, that maybe, let's logically think about this here for a second, right? If you're going to go to a coach and try to argue for your limitations as to maybe the framework that of what you're working on is not aligning with you, how do we expect to learn? Now, it's not to say that maybe the coach doesn't make mistakes. It's not to say that maybe sometimes there could be a better way to do things. I love to break this down because I also struggle with this too. Because when I look back to, let's just say, my baseball career, I think a lot of times I was very fixated on doing the things that I wanted to do and how I wanted to do them. But if I really just allowed myself to surrender to the process, remove my emotions and be open-minded and like really choosing to just listen and just really embody that skill set of listening, because I also think that's a skill set as well, it would have probably served me a lot more. But the problem was I was a young teenager kid, thought I knew it all, right? I didn't want to listen. And we could all probably take something from that, right? And that's what I want to give here to you guys on this podcast. And that's how all of these become intertwined. That last point, number 3, is choosing faith over fear. So I'm going to recap these. Number 3, choosing faith over fear. These 3 concepts right here are how our clients see success. So whatever this looks like for you, maybe there's something, maybe only one applies to you right now. That's okay. Maybe all 3 do. But what if you just took 5 to 10 minutes to sit down and really reflect on these and ask yourself the question of, well, how could I apply this to my life right now? How does this make sense for me? And how could I look to improve? Because again, if you're listening to this podcast and this information, there's part of you that wants to improve because that's probably why you're here. And for me, that's why I do this, is because I'm always looking for the improvement. And that's really the slogan that we embody here at our company and Team Evolution is we're never satisfied. We don't miss, and we always look to get 1% better every single day. Choosing faith over fear, let's unpack that a little bit quickly as we get to the end of this episode, is recognizing that, yes, it may be scary, it may be difficult, but you do it anyway. Because fear is only going to hold you back from doing the things that you should be doing for yourself. And a lot of times it's just in our heads and we psych ourselves out about all these difficult things when in reality, it might not be that challenging. Usually in your head, it's way worse than what it actually is. And that's what I'm saying. If you could embody choosing to be in a faithful position over always responding with emotion and a closed mind and being fearful, taking that off the table and embodying the opposite of this, and you practice these over and over again, man, why can't you be successful? And again, it is not just your fitness journey. It is your entire life, man. Your entire existence, right? Your business, your relationships, your career, your friends. I'll leave you guys with this. That is why I get so fired up to share this information, and why I personally love coaching and fitness so much, is because every single time I go to war with my mind, I learn something new. And I become obsessed with learning because I am so terrified of being the last version of myself. And that's for me why I get up every single day and do the things that I'm doing for myself. Because if I didn't do that, I would experience those emotions again. And I don't want to do that. And I venture to say that you guys don't want to do that either. So again, to recap this episode and how our clients see tremendous success inside of our program, you can take these 3 concepts and apply that however you see fit. Removing your emotions, ditching your ego, being open-minded, and choosing faith over fear. And I can almost promise you that if you choose, keyword choose, to work on these, then it could serve you tremendously. But you have to be willing to actually work on it. It's not going to be something that happens overnight, but from personal experience, man, it is so powerful to develop these. So hope you guys got some value from this episode. If you did, please let me know. Hope you have the best day of your entire lives. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, love, and protein. Let's freaking get it. I'm out. I got to peace out for a meet. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see if there's any comments over here on TikTok. Don't see anything on here. Cool. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. That's it. That is all. And let me know. Let me know what you guys thought of